1 in 4 Americans say they're going to be looking for a new job in the year 2022. And so it's a busy time to begin that quest and to also ask the questions, where are all the workers and what should you be doing if you're looking for a new job? Joining us now on Your Take with your questions, Carrie Chauchet with Purple Squirrel Advisors. She's an HR expert. And also Mark Stewart, formerly of the Wall Street Journal and a journalist who focuses on business and the workforce. It is good to see both of you. Thanks for joining us today. Our first question comes to us all the way from Detroit. We have Monet Fort, who's asking this.
Ruth, my question is, do you think that with all the incentives and promotions that are currently in place, do you think that that would overshadow those who have been working hard already, wearing multiple hats during the whole COVID season? Do you think that they'll get overlooked?
Mark, I wanted to begin with you to answer that question. Your thoughts on that?
Hi, Ruth. It's really good to see you. And yes, Monet is 100% correct. There's no question that employers are offering very attractive wages and benefits to these new hires. However, companies are also concerned about keeping the good workers they have, especially those who have stepped up, as Monet said, wearing multiple hats during the pandemic. The last thing a company wants to do is to lose a good employee. So if you are bringing your A game every day, perhaps this is the time for you to ask for a wage or a more flexible work arrangement, even a promotion. Replacing someone, especially at this point in time, is very difficult, Ruth.
Carrie, I want to bring you into the fold here and ask you the question that's very similar to what we just asked Mark from another Fox 2 viewer, Barbara Brown, who says, is this a good time to ask for a rate increase if you are a long-term employee? And by the way, a gentleman named Jason responded by saying the people who he knows who did this were told to look elsewhere. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me here today and on this important topic. And so, it's a great question. And absolutely, this is a great time. If you are a loyal employee, you've been with your employer for a period of time and you have not received a raise, open up that dialogue, and it would be a great time to discuss with your manager pay increase, because certainly we have seen drastic pay increases across many different functional areas and positions. And really, it's an opportunity to open up the dialogue on long-term potential in your career as well. Because as Mark stated, companies do not want to lose their loyal employees at this time. And
so it's not likely then, you don't think, that they would say take a walk if you asked for a hike?
That seems very unlikely to me. I haven't heard of that approach. And it's, it's a valid question with what's going on. And again, on the topic of retention, employers need to listen and have that dialogue be open with their employees at this time.
We have Matt on Facebook asking the question, employers really need to look at why they're losing staff. Some may be advancing beyond what the employer has available, but I guess a lot of it has to do with how the employer shows that they value their most important asset. Mark, that gratitude, that loyalty from an employer, from a boss, how important is that right now?
Ruben, is really important. In fact, I was talking to a recruiter here in New York who said to me that companies often need to re-recruit the employees that they already have to let them know their value. I also had a discussion with Sidel Neely. She's a business professor at Harvard, and she was saying to me that employees certainly want good wages, they want good benefits, but more importantly, they want purpose. They want to know that they have some big value in their company or their organization's overall goal. And what that means, whether you are white collar or blue collar, whether you are an executive or or if you work in housekeeping, all of these positions should be valued importantly and equally. And that is something that especially young hires, they want to feel when they are brought into an organization. And that is really important right now, because people aren't just going to work for a paycheck and benefits. They want to feel that they are part of a bigger cause.
Mark and Carrie, we're going to continue this conversation on the other side of this half hour here on Fox 2 News at 5:30. And we're going to be talking a little bit about what employers, what bosses need to be thinking about to make sure they keep their few good men and women who are in place right now and make sure they don't leave. We're going to take a look at that coming up in our next half hour. We call it Your Take. We're taking your questions right to the experts. And joining us now, Mark Stewart, formerly of the Wall Street Journal and a journalist who focuses on business and the workforce, and Carrie Chauchet with Purple Squirrel Advisors, who's an HR expert. They're here to talk about this current state of employment right now. guess what? Right now, 1 in 4 Americans say they want to leave their current job and go somewhere else. So what do bosses need to keep in mind right now? Carrie, the first question comes from a viewer, a Fox 2 viewer named Jackie Schwartz. She runs a furniture store business, and she has this question for you.
Ruth, my question is, I have tried all the conventional ways to find a new person to add to my staff, and I am just having no luck. What would you suggest?
Carrie.
Well, it's a tough question, but I've got a few solutions, hopefully. So first of all, thinking about your employment brand first and foremost, and is there some way that you can get the message out about the opportunity with your company that you haven't tried already? So whether it's TikTok or Instagram or Facebook, are you leveraging those platforms and are you leveraging video? That would be one question on the topic of employment brand. Secondly, also look at your current employee base and ensure that you are offering attractive referral bonuses for them to refer their friends and family. We recently just hired a couple of employees here at Purple Squirrel, and those came directly through a referral network. And finally, also consider what you can do to make the job more attractive. Is there a flexible schedule or some other perk that you could offer that could make this job an attractive one for somebody coming back into the workforce as a parent, a stay-at-home, formerly a stay-at-home parent, or some other situation where you could make this an attractive opportunity for a segment of the workforce that maybe we need to draw back in. Those would be a couple of my suggestions.
You thought TikTok was just for dancing and fun. Really? This is serious stuff. People are using all these social platforms to get people to work for them. Mark, the next question comes to us from a Fox 2 viewer, Roger. Are the majority of workers that are going to quit staying in their current field or of employment, or are they switching career paths altogether? What are you seeing right now?
Well, Ruth, there's been this big discussion about the Great Resignation, but we're also seeing the Great Reboot. And what I mean by that is a lot of people who are choosing to leave their jobs are perhaps going to a better job or a step up in their field, perhaps some kind of promotion at a higher level with a different organization, but maybe in the same area of expertise. We're also seeing a lot of people go into consulting, staying within their area of knowledge, but providing consulting to other businesses who do what they have done in the past. But we are also seeing some people leave their occupations completely and doing a 180 almost. I was talking to one recruiter who was telling me that he has clients, people he's been talking to, who have created YouTube channels to focus on their interests. But overall, Ruth, it's not like people are just leaving and not doing something else. They're not just taking a break. They usually do have a plan B or a plan C in front of them.
All right, that gig economy is really revved up too. And so the final question goes to Carrie from Rajani, a Fox 2 viewer, asking, how are employers planning to build a feeling of company culture and build team spirit in this remote environment? That's tough to do.
It is tough, but there's simple ways that you can do it with, even in a team meeting, starting out the team meeting with an icebreaker question, or asking the group to everyone share a piece of good news on the personal front, on the business front. So kind of bringing that water cooler talk that you might have when you hear about somebody's weekend, bring that into your virtual meetings. You can also, there's a lot of companies out there that are offering virtual experiences, and you can bring those in to a company meeting. Bingo or trivia or some other fun activity that you can do in a virtual setting. So those are a few things that we've heard of other companies doing to keep their culture going in a virtual world.
Nothing better than a game of Pictionary online to make you feel a little bit better about where you work. At least you get to laugh and share a smile with people who you otherwise are just seeing on Zoom. We're seeing both of you today on Skype, but we thank you both for joining us today. Carrie Chauchet right here in Metro Detroit, Mark Stewart in New York, joining us on this edition of Your Take, talking about the concerns as 1 in 4 Americans say they're leaving their current jobs. Tell us what you think right now. Just go to our Fox 2 Facebook page.